Good morning, dear students. Today in class 12th, we start new chapter. Chapter name is The Interview, written by Christopher Sylvester. Actually, this particular chapter has two parts, part 1 and part 2. And part 1 discusses about definition, terms, parts of interview and some other common belief regarding interview, and part second is a practical one which is composed by Mukund, the editor of the Hindi newspaper. So before coming to the content, let's discuss one thing first. What is an interview? Generally, it is assumed that an interview is a process to know something about somebody or to assess somebody about some certain parameters. Okay, so generally it is a process to assess somebody on certain parameters. Interview, you might have heard this word many times, like in newspaper you might have read interviews of somebody. On television screen, most of the time this news channel, they broadcast some interviews. Okay, and even to get a job, especially in today's era, in private sector and corporate sector, the candidate has to go through a process in which interview is the last part. So this particular word has so many branches in our life. It relates to our private life, it relates to our professional life, it relates to our social life also. Interview does not mean the interview to get a job only. This is, you should clear in mind. Interview means an interaction between two people or among people. Okay, got it? It means, as I tell you, that it is a process to assess somebody on certain point. It may be the management of a firm or company to assess a candidate, or it may be a person who assess some other person on certain parameters. So interview has not its definition limited, basically. Okay, it is just a process to go through and to get something new, something true, you can say, something wonderful about somebody. Okay, sometimes some people, they speak lie that stay no longer with us in an interview. Okay, so in part first we talk about a definition and some other things. Like in definition, this term interview is 130 years old. How many years old? 130 years old, and a commonplace of journalism. Okay, this word interview is a common word of journalism. Most of the time, some media people like reporters, okay, correspondents of newspaper, they do interview of some people like celebrities, politician, leader, or some other person. So this is a common place where all kind of media or the journalism, they come to an end of something or some point or some idea. Okay, and after that we have certain opinion about interview. What do people think? Actually, a source of truth. Interview is a source of truth by which we can know something new, something true about somebody. First opinion. In second opinion, an art in practice. This is, some people think that this is an art, means interview is an art in practice. In practice means in task of common life. So that is in routine, you can say. Okay. And some other people, they believe that an unwarranted intrusion into somebody's life. Intrusion means interfere. So this is, some people think that this is an unwarranted, it's not warranted. Warranted by, granted by some higher authority. So it is not an unwarranted interference or intrusion or disturbance, simply you can say, into somebody's life. If we interview somebody, it means we show some kind of, you can say, disturbance in somebody's life, like asking some truth, asking some true facts of somebody's life. So it is a, you can say, intrusion. Then a belief based in culture, on culture. What is the belief that based is on culture? That if someone, it's just an example given to clarify the importance of interview. In old time, what people think that, what did people think? If somebody clicks your photograph, in old time, it seems that the person has taken your soul. That was a belief. What I have written here, a belief based on culture, means traditional approach. In old time, when picture were clicked or photograph were clicked, so some people thought that their soul had been taken away. In this way, if somebody interviews you, it means the person wants to know truth about some point of your life. Okay. And it is a common place of journalism in which people show their art to interview somebody, and it is an intrusion in somebody's life. So certain thing we get to know about interview. Got it? And in this one, it is being told that many celebrities, what do they think? We will also get to know, because today we are just discussing outline of this one. When we will do reading, then or at that time we will come to know that what is the real level of some great people, what did they think about interview. Okay. Now V.S. Naipaul, what did he think? That losing a part of themselves, means according to this person, V.S. Naipaul, he thought that an interview is losing a part of themselves. It means if somebody interviews you, it means that the person is losing some part of himself, means some percentile of his living organism, some approach of his mind, some kind of you can say approach of his thought process. So losing means to get away, to leave away. So this is a belief thought by V.S. Naipaul, that if somebody interviews you, it means you are losing some part of your life. Got it? Now you might have heard Lewis Carroll. Who was that? Creator of Alice in Wonderland. This one you might have heard. Even today we have a documentary over there and movie also, Alice in Wonderland. So the person of this great book, the writer Lewis Carroll, Rudyard Kipling, H.G. Wells. These two related to English literature. Okay. English, I should write here English people, like those who are poet and writer. Like H.G. Wells was science fiction writer, and Rudyard Kipling was also fiction writer as well as a poet. So in this one we will get to know Lewis Carroll, the creator of Alice Wonder. What did he think about interview? What did Rudyard Kipling thought? And H.G. Wells, what was his thought process regarding interview? So out of these three people's approach, we got one point, like interview as being the thumbprint on his windpipe. Windpipe, that is biologically in our body. Okay, thumbprint, stuck with. Okay, so it means what? If somebody interviews you, understood? If somebody interviews you, it means you are unable to take your breath properly. Meaning this, interview as being like thumbprint, stuck with, stop in between, disturbed on his windpipe that we take, breathe in, inhale and exhale, that generally we should say. So this approach is given by these three people commonly. I just tell you commonly. So see, this is the belief of the people in old time regarding interview. Okay, so this is part first, in which it is told that interview is a commonplace of journalism, it is a source of truth, it is a great art in practice, and it is an unwarranted intrusion in somebody's life. Okay, and I have given you an example. If somebody clicks your photo, it means the person has taken your soul away. That is the old belief. In the same way, if somebody interviews you, it means the person takes many true facts about your life. So this is part first, dear children. Okay, in part 2 there are two characters like Mukund from the Hindu newspaper and Umberto Eco, a professor, a science professor. So whatever we discussed just now in part first, practically Christopher Sylvester, the writer of the chapter Interview, has given a good example of this particular thing. Okay, so now as I told you, Mukund is the editor of the Hindu newspaper, or reporter you can say, and Umberto Eco, a professor of science faculty. And now something about Umberto Eco. He writes literary fiction, academic texts, essays, children's book, newspaper articles. Okay, and The Name of the Rose was his famous book. Got it? In part first, we understood that people got afraid on the name of interview, but Umberto Eco was first person who was happy to be interviewed at any place at any time, even on any time. So he did not have any kind of fear of interview. Okay, like in part first we got to know that people were afraid of speaking truth about their life. He never hesitated even for a single moment. Fine. And certain things were there, like one thing I just tell you in this one, we read them out. He writes on Sundays. Okay, means as a writer he never writes daily, he writes on Sundays. Means Sunday is the day that was fixed for him, that on this day he will write something on the paper, like poetry writing or fiction or drama, whatever. Okay, and as he got 40 or 49, I think 40 or 49, whatever the age, years old, then he became a writer. and before that he remained busy in his own work, like of teaching in classes. Like, then essays have narrative approach. Good point of his writing that whatever he write like essays, all the essays, they have a narrative approach, means full of narration, nobody can get confused. Then never attended any seminar or pen club writings. Generally we see that some people like who are writers or poets, they do attend some kind of seminar or workshop or kavi sammelan like that. He never attended that, even though he was not a writer. Basically he was a professor, as I told you. Okay, so all the time he remained busy in his work, fine, and he never attended any seminar. Next, never wasted a single moment. Best thing about Umberto Eco. Example is given, I just tell you. Suppose there is a building and it has 3 to 4 stories. If he has to go from ground floor to 4th one, and in between in the lift, okay, somebody is coming or he is going upside, so during that time he would write an article. See, he was that much interested in not wasting a single moment of his life. Okay, then then never wasted a single moment, and at the age of 40 or 49 he became a writer and he wrote the book The Name of the Rose. This book became so popular that 3,000 million copies were sold. Okay, and then one thing is being given in this one, condition of American publisher. The publisher of this book, The Name of the Rose, was an American. So not more than 3,000 copies were where nobody had seen a cathedral. Cathedral means church. The American publisher put a condition that not more than 3,000 copies of this book, The Name of the Rose, were sold in any nation or country where people have not seen cathedral. Cathedral means church, or second one, studies Latin language. Whosoever was not able to read, write or understand Latin language, this book was not sold over there. So conditions were two, like one is Latin language, second was cathedral. Okay, and in an interview, Mukund asked Umberto Eco what is the reality or the mystery of this book that it became so famous, The Name of the Rose. Even the professor Umberto Eco himself did not know what could be the reason of this book, why it became so famous. So lastly, the success of the book was a great mystery. He himself did not know what could be the reason of this famousness. Okay, so in this part, first and second, we will read about the interview part 1 and part 2. Fine. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will be reading this chapter with its text, and then we will come to know other things which are still hidden in the chapter. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you.